What's up, everyone? I'm Megan Avery, and welcome to Boss FM Now, where you know you can always count on Boss FM to deliver the latest and greatest in pop culture, politics, and whatever is buzzing in the streets. We do it for the culture.
That's right, Megan. And because we know that you have your phone in hand, we need you to go ahead and download that Boss FM app and follow us at Boss FM Radio on all social media platforms so that you can stay connected.
Today we've got a new episode of Entertainment Corner with David Medina, more tea with Becca, and a discussion with our fellow contributors. So let's get into it. Everyone. A bar opening in rural Illinois is linked to an outbreak of COVID-19. The opening caused at least 46 cases of COVID and a school closure. The number of people who attended this event is not known, but the bar was able to accommodate 100 people. While the name and location of the bar has not been disclosed, the CDC has confirmed these statistics. Because of the reluctancy of some people to disclose contacts, the case count was actually higher than what the CDC found. 2 weeks after the bar opened, the average daily COVID-19 positivity rate doubled to 86 cases per 100,000 people.
Wow, I really do think we as a country need to consider that this virus is still going on. Let's dive into some entertainment news in David Medina's segment of Entertainment Corner.
What's up, guys? You guys are now tuned in to Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, David Medina with Boss FM Now. Now let's hop into the most recent trending news in the entertainment industry. After being closed for so long due to the pandemic, AMC Theaters got a lifeline from Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong jump-started AMC Entertainment and perhaps the whole movie theater industry as a whole. After a strong global debut earlier this month, the film opened in the US on March 31st and continued its rampage. Godzilla vs. Kong generated $48.5 million in ticket sales during its 5-day US opening, more than double analysis projections of $23 million. It also did very well and succeeded in theaters, even though 40% of US theaters are still closed, and those that are open have capacity restrictions. AMC fought to avoid bankruptcy during the COVID-19 pandemic, but this Monday, AMC's stock jumped more than 13% following the film's release in the US. So struggling to prevent bankruptcy, AMC made agreements with Hollywood studios to shorten the amount of time films play exclusively in theaters before they're available on digital platforms. Some people don't really care for the theatrical experience of being inside a movie theater, because a lot of movies now are instantly available at home, but some things are better watched on the big screen. That's it for your most recent entertainment news on Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, David Medina with Boss FM Now. Now back to the guys in the studio.
I'd like to welcome CJ and David to our stream today. So, CJ, did you see this movie?
Yeah, and I actually watched it at home on HBO Max.
How about you, David? Did you see this?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but it's a good sign to see, like we're moving back into movie theaters. I definitely want that movie theater experience again. And, it doesn't really matter what I'm watching, really. It's just the experience.
Exactly. And Jacarius, how about you? Did you see this, or are you planning on seeing it?
I haven't seen it yet, but it's been the talk all over Twitter, man, and the memes for it are hilarious.
I haven't seen any, but I'd love if you send some my way. Those seem pretty cool. But thank you, too, and we'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes. Moving right along, Jacarius has an update on the MLB canceling the All-Star game. Jacarius?
Yes, that's right, guys. The 2021 MLB All-Star Game was supposed to take place in Atlanta, Georgia this year. The MLB Commissioner, Rob Manfred, decided to put an end to the event due to the new legislation passed by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. Senate Bill 202 is a new legislation which will impose new voting laws in Georgia. The new legislation will now make it a misdemeanor to offer food and water to voters waiting in line at polling stations, limit the use of drop boxes, and shorten the runoff election of 4 weeks instead of 9 weeks. The criticism of the MLB decision is coming from several figures across the political spectrum. Brian Kemp stated that the league succumbed to fear and liberal lies, while on the other hand, President Joe Biden has compared this new legislation in Georgia to the Jim Crow laws of the 60s. In an interview with ESPN, Biden said that these new laws are Jim Crow on steroids. And, well, guys, I get where Biden is coming from, and then on the other hand, I kind of don't get where he's coming from. No one is being killed over this law. What do you guys think?
Definitely a false equivalency comparing it to Jim Crow.
Yeah.
I think maybe he might have overstretched on that one, but I can see where he's coming from, just as far as it being a discriminatory practice.
And what about you, David? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think the same thing. I mean, Biden's gonna do what he's gonna do, but it's nothing like what Jim Crow was like, So it's yeah, you can't really compare like that.
Yeah, he's just kind of starting something. But I mean, he's the president, so like I said, kind of hesitate on with him. Well, guys, just hold on just a second. Contributor Harvey Cruz has a new episode of The Huddle. Let's check it out.
Hello. Once again, what a past couple days in the world of sports. We have a new champion in women's college basketball, while history was made on the men's side of college basketball, and arch rivals battle in Spain. It's time for the Sports Huddle. The Stanford Cardinals are the new NCAA women's college basketball champions after a thrilling and dramatic 54-53 victory over the Arizona Wildcats. It's the Cardinals' first national title since 1992. As for the men's national championship, that belongs to the Baylor Bears with an 86-70 coronation against Gonzaga. They win their first ever national title and end the Zags' quest for perfection. What a March Madness it has been this year. And let's finish with soccer. The 2020 Copa del Rey final, which was delayed due to the pandemic, was a special occasion because it was the Basque derby between Real Sociedad and Atletico Bilbao, and it went the way of the blue side. Captain Mikel Oyarzabal scored the penalty, the lone goal, which gave Sociedad their first major trophy since 1987. This has been the Sports Huddle. Harvey Cruz, Boss FM Now.
Welcome back, CJ and David. So, CJ, did you watch a lot of March Madness this year?
I actually only watched one game, which was the UCLA and Gonzaga game. And I think, I can't really speak being that I didn't watch a lot, but that looked like the best game.
How about you, David? Did you watch a lot?
No, not at all. The same as CJ, UCLA game, just because I'm from LA, so I had to watch it, and that's the team I was going for. So unfortunately, they lost. But yeah, shout out to the Bears for beating Gonzaga.
And how about you, Jacarius? Did you do a lot of March Madness this year?
No, I actually just caught the tail end. See, I'm from Houston, and unfortunately, we lost just the game right before the championship. So I only really caught a little bit of the Bears last game, the championship.
I made a bracket this year, which I haven't done before, and it tanked pretty fast. I was losing almost immediately, but that's okay. There's always next year. We now turn to the number 4 trending Twitter topic of today. The hashtag #IStandWithRayFisher is booming for racism against blacks in the infamous Warner Brothers studio. We unfortunately do not have a clip for you guys tonight, but here are the highlights. Ray Fisher is claiming that the Warner Studios are racist and do not allow black actors and actresses to play top roles. For example, when Ray was asked to only take a cameo position in the new movie The Flash, not a lead role. Why? Because cameo characters do not need to be paid. This is something many black actors and actresses are facing in the Warner studio, as they do not want to pay their talent what they deserve due to the color of their skin. Ray is now speaking out on these work conditions to put an end to this abuse. He states, "I don't believe that some of these people are fit for leadership," referring to the Warner studio leadership and filmmakers. So, CJ, what are your initial thoughts about hearing all of this?
I've followed a little bit of what's going on with Warner Brothers and the Justice League movie. And it seems like Joss Whedon, the director, he has a track record of just being a really foul person to work with. And so I'm now learning that it's Warner Brothers as a whole, which comes as no surprise, but, something needs to be done about the situation.
And same question for you, David. What are your thoughts after hearing this?
Yeah, honestly, it's no surprise, especially in, the movie industry. It's been, like racism has been built in the system like that. Actors have never got the same pay and stuff like that. And, even from the 60s, we've seen like little change, but not a whole lot like we should be. And honestly, it's unacceptable, but, that's why people are out there protesting and trying to make a change. So, yeah.
And Jacarius, how about you?
Well, this comes as no surprise. I have a couple of friends in acting programs. One of them's at Yale right now, and he's always telling me how they take these classes and they show the history of acting and all these obstacles actors of color had to overcome. And while it is sad to see this still happening right now in 2021, it's no surprise and it doesn't move me as much. Now, I think maybe if we boycott this movie, we might get some change out of this.
Oh, definitely. I agree. When I first saw this, I was reading the Twitter threads this morning as it was starting to start trending. And it just breaks your heart when you hear things like this. And as all of you guys just said, you think we would be past this and able to not have to have people not being paid for roles. Like, he was an actor in a very big movie, and having him just come in as a cameo so that they couldn't pay him is absolutely ridiculous. And then not on top of that, we have all the other things that are probably going on behind closed doors that we haven't even heard about if this is all that's being brought to the table by just one person. So my last question for you guys today is, David, do you think that they will make a change with this?
To be honest, no. It's it's sad and pretty much embarrassing. That we still, like, as a country and movie industry, whatever it is, it's always built in the system, and we're gonna keep on seeing it. I feel like until like the next generation will really make a change. So, yeah.
Well, hey guys, thanks for being here. Unfortunately, this is all the time we have for our discussion tonight. Let's jump into the spotlight with the new segment of DJ Spotlight with CJ Atkins.
Thank you guys in the studio. I'm your host CJ with Boss FM, here to present your DJ Spotlight. Let's get into it.
This week's DJ Spotlight is on Haitian-Canadian DJ and record producer Kaytranada. Kaytranada has been rising to prominence since his first remixes on SoundCloud in the early 2010s. Now, almost 10 years later, the 28-year-old DJ is touring the world and was nominated for 3 Grammys, 2 of which he took home, winning Best Song and Album for the electronic/dance category. Kaytranada's ability to seamlessly blend the elements of electronic, hip-hop, R&B, funk, and house music all into one has left him in a lane of his own, with the sound completely unique to him. If you were hoping to catch a Kaytranada DJ set live, you may be in luck. While his long-awaited Bubba Tour has been postponed for the second time due to COVID, he's now scheduled for several festival appearances this year, starting with Hard Summer and Outside Lands in California, as well as some dates for Miami, Netherlands, and the UK. For more info about Kaytranada or to stay up to date with his music and DJ shows, go tap in with his Instagram and Twitter at Kaytranada. And this has been your host CJ with your DJ Spotlight. Back to you guys in the studio.
So CJ, do you have a favorite Kaytranada song?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many, but I would say my favorite album from him is his latest album, Bubba. So I would tell people to go check that out. If you guys haven't heard that, go check that out.
Yeah, for sure. His prime, like, yeah, his album right there. His SoundCloud songs are always like good little throwbacks to go back to.
You know what?
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
I have an answer. Be Your Girl. Look that up on SoundCloud. It's Be Your Girl remix.
Be your girl.
Okay, bet.
Well, I guess I have a lot of music homework to do after we get off tonight. But thank you guys for stopping by again, and we will see you guys in just a few minutes. For our next anchor story, Jacarius gives us an insight on the George Floyd case as the police chief steps up to the witness stand against Officer Chauvin. Jacarius?
Yes, Minneapolis Police Chief Madaria Arredondo testified against Officer Derek Chauvin on Monday. Arredondo said Chauvin violated the department's policy on restraint, and for those who don't know, there aren't many cases of police chiefs speaking against their policemen. This Monday, when he took the witness stand, the police chief said that once Floyd was motionless, Chauvin should have stopped applying that level of force on Floyd. The chief then said that Chauvin's actions are not in the police department's policy or in their code of ethics and values. Chauvin did not appear to be applying light force on moderates on Floyd's neck, which is clearly stated in the neck restraint policy, said the police chief. He then went on to say that Chauvin also did not render first aid to Floyd before the ambulance arrived. The chief's testimony came after the emergency room doctor confirmed that Floyd's heart had already stopped when he arrived at the hospital. Wow, guys. This case has been going on for like a couple weeks now, maybe I think a week or two, and they're not saying anything we don't know already.
Yeah, really. And I mean, it's interesting to hear Officer, kind of disown or disown his officer's actions. But I feel like that's not nearly enough, and that's not going to bring George Floyd back. And we need concrete steps like ending qualified immunity so that these officers actually can face some not only criminal but civil charges for what they do, and then hopefully they'll act a little more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. It's crazy that we're still talking about it, and that they're barely getting a case towards it right now. But I've seen like signs for a better future, and like in New York, they're making the cops take responsibility for those type of things, and it's definitely taking steps in towards a better future.
Yeah, guys. Well, I would say that all we can do is hope, but no, we need to vote these people out.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're wrapping up our clips tonight with some tea. Spill it for us, Rebecca.
Welcome to Tea with Becca. Grab your cups, take a sip, because the tea is here for you. And today we're going to talk about Sukihana and how she recently went to Twitter to say, if I'm being honest with y'all, female rap is really boring to me right now. And I agree with her 100%. Now, if you don't know who Sukihana is, her rap name is Cupcake. And if you ever listen to a Cupcake song, it is very vulgar and descriptive. Now, I won't say any lines or phrases from her songs, but if you already get what I'm getting at, just think of it 10 times worse. I agree with her saying that the rap game is really boring right now, because if you listen to the radio, all the songs sound the same basically. They have the same rhythm, they have the same message, and there's nothing really setting them apart from each other. Something that's really simple to the ears and has a nice beat, those songs really work. City Girls, that's what they have. Meg Thee Stallion, that's definitely what she has. But to say that I feel something special, or I get some sense of sensation from the music that's put out now, I can't lie to you and say I do. And that's all the tea we have for today, but don't worry, I'll be back soon.
So I'd like to welcome you guys back for our final little discussion of the night. So CJ, do you agree with what Rebecca was saying?
To a degree, I think what's popular is, kind of, like she says, very formulaic, the same old, same old. I think if you want something with more substance, you're just going to have to dig for it. But I think that's the way it's always been, for the most part. What's popular isn't always the most meaningful.
And how about you, David? Do you agree with Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's cool to have those songs out, but sometimes you just need some different substance to it. Like CJ brought up Joyce Wright. She just dropped something, and I feel like she should get way more coverage of that. So, yeah.
And Jacarius, any thoughts about this tea with Becca?
Yes, I am definitely looking forward to something of a little more substance as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. WAP gets me going, but something else would be pleasing in the ear.
I kind of feel the same way. Well, thank you, CJ and David, for joining us for the night, and we will see you guys in just a couple days, I'm sure. But for our last story of the night, a law in Utah is requiring biological fathers to pay half of a woman's out-of-pocket pregnancy costs. Supporters of this bill think this will help ease the burden on pregnant women. However, some think that this could make abusive situations worse for pregnant women. This is the first state to ever mandate prenatal child support. Representative Brandy Brammer sponsored this bill because he wanted to pursue a legislation that would help people who want babies instead of creating more anti-abortion bills. A spokesperson at Planned Parenthood said that there are better ways to help women, like expanding Medicaid or providing paid leave. But unfortunately, everyone, that is actually it for the news tonight. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of the latest and greatest on Boss FM Now. If you'd like to watch our shows, as always, they will be available for replay on our Boss FM app and on all our social media platforms. Thanks again for tuning in, y'all. It's Megan Avery.
And I'm Jacarius Stanley. Have a great
rest of your
night.
night.